Hello. With you is Alina, and we have here a nail polish. And not just any, but the one that even managed to go to the sea. Well, in general, the client says that she protected it not once, but then she had to go on vacation, and she couldn't go without a nail. That's why it grew on her, and we ended up with what we have. But first of all, of course, we push back the cuticle. And what we see is an interesting thing. We have a notch here. I think it's very clearly visible. This ridge, it's slightly pinkish in color, and this happens because the master is not working correctly with the machine. That's why basic courses are needed. But in the meantime, let's get distracted and see what's inside with straight cut pieces for an adult nail. I'm cutting off the free edge that's too free. Such as it should not be, strictly speaking. In general, our task is to remove that part of the nail that is no longer in contact with the nail bed. That is, the one that has come off from it. And now we need to get all these little pieces. And there, it must be said, is not a little. But not that they are little pieces, but this is unprocessed skin, remnants of a nail bed and other debris. Well, plus we remember, yes, the little nail was swimming in the sea, enjoying life. We decided to trim the cuticle while doing an uncoated manicure, and we protected it. There was also a fungus on other fingers, but not as interesting as on this one. And this one is just a hero for us. After we cut the cuticle, I start cutting these rough spots with the same nippers I used for the skin, because they don't seem to peel off. That is, this is not the fully detached skin there under the nail. It must be cut using a cutting tool, which, in my opinion, can't be scissors or tweezers. That's why I work with nippers. I switch the tool once more, taking a straight cutting tool in my hands. And here, the most interesting thing awaits us. I love feeling onycholysis. Because that's exactly what is dangerous. Many say, here I got under the nails. I cleaned there is no dirt. But at the very end, where onycholysis begins, on the stick of a healthy nail and the one that has come off, it's always packed there with such little poops. Exactly there. The products of life, skin residues, I don't know, textiles there, cleaned potatoes, yes, everything, whatever you want, gather. In general, we do different things with our hands. We don't sit and wait when onycholysis will grow. In general, all this ends up there, and it is dangerous because it is wet, raw. In general, it's the thing for the new civilization. Then I process the stick with a solid state cutter. You can also go through with 180 grit sandpaper. I had a cutter at hand. That's why I took it. I cut again with straight bits, and again we reach some layer there. You know what this looks like? It looks like what you get under your toenails when you clean out the corners. Here's roughly the same story. Again in my hands, I have skin bits, cutting all sorts of unclear keratosis that did not remain here on the sides. This also needs to be removed, and then it will be necessary to carry out the final cleaning with a cutter. In general, when I say cleaning, I mean that it is necessary to completely remove all this part of the nail that has come off. It should be there, but it came off. We remove it and everything, no problems, everything will grow back perfectly. If, of course, some external factors do not affect the nail. Well, next we take the apple again, lifted it up and pass it with a diamond cutter. I won't tell here, I think we've seen this more than once. I also have more hardcore cleanings of Onycholysis in my videos. There is a very cool video about the fire, I recommend watching it. I am soon waiting for her on the third reception. We will again clean up the remnants of her burn. Everything is much better there already. But there is something to work on. Now, let's talk about why it's not worth protesting anesthesia. I say it's not worth it because there are still cases where you can do this over a short period of time. For a bride getting married, it's understandable that she needs all 10 nails for the beautiful photos with the ring and bouquet. But there we work by agreement. That is, we prosthetized the nail for a couple of days so that she got married, took pictures, and then came back for removal. Once again, why can't you prosthetize in onycholysis? Look, we just cleaned up with you. We removed everything, got all these strangers out of there and all that, and our nail will be clean. It would seem so, right? Take it and prosthetize it and go about your health. But if we put any artificial material there, no matter what material it is, we end up with the same onycholysis because the material will not adhere to the nail bed. Naturally, it will not merge into one with your finger and will not become part of the natural nail. It will still be an artificial material that has no connection. Accordingly, into this groove, into this pocket, the same dirt that we just took out from there will also be packed. It is this information that we need to try to convey to clients exactly in the form that I have just explained. Usually, this is how I explain it. And after this, all sorts of attempts to, well, grow on me, please stop, and we no longer have such problems. As you can see, everything is very simple. The key is to communicate this to the individual, because they simply do not understand. They think, well, that's it, we've cleaned up, now we can grow. For some reason, I will be walking without a nail. Well, because it has to be like this. You can also say it like this. I'm an artist, that's how I see it. Actually, it seems to me it's more than logical and very, very simple. While it's possible for them to grow wild on their own, it's extremely rare. Do as you're supposed to, and you'll be happy. You can convince clients to go a few weeks or months without nails. After that, they'll have new, healthy, silky nails. Elena was with you. Thanks for watching. I await your comments. And bye-bye, until new meeting.